Hello and welcome to Kabbalistic Astrology, the second. This is the world's weekly forecast that we do every week. This is Matt Taylor. My name is Nicola Ercolani, and we speak about the world's astrology, the new moon, Aquarius coming to an end, and like all the energetics insights of the week. So you have like the bits and pieces, so you know that you're not nuts and you can like go on with your life, basically.
It's very reassuring.
Oh, totally it is. How are you today?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very good. I finally
Yeah.
arrived in Salerno,
Oh,
and
lovely.
it's Italy and Italia, Salerno, the Amalfi Coast. It's like beautiful and fancy, and so let's see what we
Yes,
finally.
and I'll be joining you at the end of the week
I
for
know,
4 days. It's very
I know,
exciting.
so exciting.
Yes.
Yes, we're
Yes.
both very looking forward to that time and to
Yes.
little day trips and road trips and all of
Be
it.
gorgeous. Be lovely.
So
Hopefully the
tell us
yes.
what's going on this
Well,
week.
that's right. So let's talk a little bit of astrology. Um, so we are this week we're doing two things with the moon. We're finalizing Aquarius and we're going into a new moon of Pisces. As we know, the Kabbalists are explaining that each month is very different. So, Aquarius is a very head energy. It's an air energy. It's very like beyond logic. Yeah, it's like anything is possible. And in a lot of the ancient texts, the stories that go with the month of Aquarius are always about being the mind over matter. Really getting our mind to a space of certainty, of being able to move through our life with a lot of certainty and to be able to put our mind over this physical reality in order to transform what we see. Yeah, it's a kind of alchemy. It's like, these ancient sort of Babylonians, they were able to turn like basic elements into gold. They were really able to alchemize things and transform the atomic structure of things. And Aquarius rules the atom, so it's always it's the sign of alchemizing or energizing or shifting reality. If you know an Aquarius, they really think anything is possible. Like this is really in their consciousness. So they're very powerful people. They have their own tikkun process, their own spiritual process, of course, to correct. But it's a sign that in its power, it's really about transforming or releasing yourself from the boundaries and limitations that we find ourselves in order to free ourselves into something new, to transform or transmute ourselves. We also know in Aquarius that there's the water bearer, and this water is really about the spiritual essence of Aquarius. No, it's about mercy and kindness and compassion. And this is why in the age of Aquarius, we're able to bring forward all of the spiritual truths that were founded 5,000 years ago. It's really the energy for that. So here we finalize in Aquarius, which probably means that we will feel that we need to free ourselves or change ourselves or move things, around, that we're not satisfied with the way that we've always done things, or we're not satisfied with something, or want to break something in ourselves, right? The real coding of this is to really unlimit myself internally, because we know spiritually that only the outside is just a reflection of the inside. So I have to get to work to really unlimit myself internally, unlimit my beliefs, unlimit my thoughts, unlimit my words, unlimit my actions, all of those things that we need to free ourselves to become, ultimately who we are meant to be. So there's something that will come up that will shift us into a new reality. And in the new moon of Pisces, we move into something that is very high level, very spiritual level. We go out of the physical level, we go into the spiritual level a lot easier. We are more in touch with our creative spiritual essence, our higher selves, the spiritual world, the sharing, the kindness, the compassion, the generosity, all of those things are in the month of Pisces. The challenge of the month of Pisces is victimness. And we see that the symbol for Pisces is the two fish. Yeah, we have a top fish and a bottom fish, right? So why don't we have two fish side by side? Why do we have two at all? Why don't we just have one nice one or a big school of fish? Why do we have these? So really, one of the things that this symbolizes is victimness, and then this kind of taking control. Yeah. So the bottom fish represents the follower, the victim, the spineless, not having any senses of direction, having very low consciousness, feeling like not being able to do anything about it, powerlessness, all of that. And the top fish represents the transformation of all of those energies into the dynamism, or the forward looking, the leader, the one with the spine, the one that takes things and really transform things. Yeah. So really in these last 2 months of the astrological year, we're really getting the big tooth sort of spiritual signs of breaking out and transforming and turning ourselves into something completely new. Most, probably, if not all, of the spiritual big shots, like Jesus, Moses, whatever, Joseph, these were all Pisceans. So it's because that energy of being able to transform into the one that's in control of the reality, to be that creator, to be that abundant, to be that creative, is really held in this sign. Now, if you're not that sign, does that mean you can't do it? No, because we're 7 billion, 8 billion souls all entering into that month. So it's just that. People who are born Pisces are usually at the end of their spiritual journey. So they've been reincarnating as all the other signs. And so that's why that Pisceans have this empathy, or this ability to understand others, people kind of well, because it's in their reincarnation memory. Yeah, so they get when you come back as Pisces, you're kind of got a little bit more possibility of finishing your spiritual work. That doesn't mean that the other signs can't do it. It's just that we've got a little bit more accessibility to it. So there's all sorts of fantastic, like, spiritual things that can happen in the month of Pisces, particularly around creativity, abundance, and really feeling into your true essence inside you and being able to share.
It's very interesting that you're saying that, because this month of Pisces is also like in Kundalini Yoga. We have several different things we do very often, and I feel that this month now is a month of creative possibilities, creative options, openings that you can really have a deeper access to your own creative force as well. Like we believe that everybody, like the God principle in the English word God, in Kundalini Yoga they say it's generating energy, then it's organizing energy, and then it's you choose between destroying and delivering. So the question is, on which side are you playing? Are you playing on the constructive energy side, on the delivering side, or are you playing on the destructive side, on the destroying side of the things? And it's a conscious decision that we can make, and especially in the month of Pisces, there is like an opening to that, which is like different in other months, I feel. And we have mantras which support that as well. So there is a mantra, it's called Ekamai. It's written E-K-A, Eka, Mai. You get the thing. I will write it down in the description. It's written in the description. And this, if you chant this mantra, if you're manifesting, or if you're like working with this mantra, what you can do is you can really like open a vessel in this creative spiritual month, like for a higher form of spirituality. Is super, super cool.
Yes, it's a month of really being in touch with that higher self and what you want to generate and what you want to create. Now, as I said, the challenge of the month is we feel our victimness, we feel our disempowerment, right? Because every sign is cut from both sides of the cloth, right? So you get the one sign that has all these tremendous things, and then they also have the exact opposite. Yeah. So it's that idea that you get that destructive side or that generative side that you're talking about is in every sign, and every sign has their particular things that they generate or they decode, right? So this is the degenerative aspect of Pisces, is this follower, don't know where I'm going, flow along with life, and I can't do anything about it, right? The Pisceans are usually very creative people, and they form, on the other side of that, they form very abusive and kind of addictive behaviors.
Very much so.
Yeah, very destructive, not really of other people, but of themselves.
Of themselves, yes.
Yeah. So they're often prone to depression and melancholies and sadnesses and depressions and sorry, not I just said that, and kind of addictions. And then addictions may not be like smoking, drugs, alcohol, sex, all of those common ones. It could be patterns of behavior, patterns of responses. Yeah, addicted to power, addicted to money, addicted to whatever. No, they can be other things. We all have it when we don't think we have a strong senses of who we are. We put our addictions into something else in order to fuel the senses of identity. Right? So if you look on either side of Pisces, particularly Aries, which is the one after Pisces, they have very strong senses of identity, of esteem, and doing things with a lot of action and excitement. And Aquarius are very known for being quirky and different. But so on the other side, we get that individuality, but in the Pisces, we lose it. We give it away to others, or we don't think we have any purpose. And so that is that bottom fish, that is that destructive energy. And then in that creative energy is all of the things that are the opposite. So I really like what you're saying, particularly for this month, Yeah.
I feel also to say this whole, this, if someone has a lot of planets in Pisces, maybe it's also very good in this month to work with bodies of water. I feel that it's like either the sea or a lake or a big river, or like I used to make a joke and say, or your bathtub. Like, it's also an option. If it's the only one you have, it's the one that you take. But a cup of tea is too small. Let's agree on that. But try to, if you have a lot of planets in Pisces, or if you feel very emotional at the moment, or if you feel like disempowered, or if you and the Buddhists have a very beautiful teaching. It's called rejoice. So it's not only necessarily about yourself, but to find joy in others' joy. Find joy.
This is great for a Pisces.
Oh,
this is great, because the opposite of that is we find our pain in other people's pain, and that's what Pisces do. Like, people think Pisces are very empathetic. Like, you tell them a story and Piscean is likely to cry, but they're not crying because of your pain. They're crying because your pain reminds them of their pain. Yeah. And so you're just making me cry out my pain, right? And that is very Piscean. Very Piscean. So this kind of being joy because other people are happy is such a good breaking of that ego.
And it also helps, sometimes when we're the backboneless fish, when we're in this energy, we're also tending to be jealous. We have the tendency to get greedy, or get not nice. I don't know the exact word, but jealousy is probably the one that comes the closest.
Oh no, all the water signs are prone to that. And if you look at what the signs are, they're crab, a scorpion, and a fish, right? So you think about the crab, it has eyes that go up, no? Yeah. And then the Scorpio is blind, and the fish has fish to the side. There's something odd about their eyes, right? Which is what jealousy is. It's like, I see something and I want it to be mine. Why don't I have it? It's something with the correction of the eye. And also the movie of something gets escalated up into bigger of what it is. They get more emotional about something, more sensitive about something, more dramatic about something as well. So this jealousy is really with the water signs a lot.
Yeah. And so like in order to like the jealousy part, if you have that within you, if you know that about yourself, that you get jealous about someone having something nice or a nice relationship or like whatever it is that you get jealous of, this technique of rejoice is like really really beautiful, and it's a Buddhist technique, and they just say like try to find the joy within you for that person, even if it's just a small tiny bit.
Yeah, it's that's the antidote to Pisces. It's happiness. It's happy with who you are, happy with like that you have something to share, happy, it's so much like that joy is really, the key to abundance, so when you're in that state, like more things will open up for you. So, and it's that consciousness of joy, particularly other people's joy, that can really shift things in this month. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. If you look at the planets that rule Pisces, it's Jupiter and Neptune, Neptune being the planet of water and spirituality. So, that sort of it's in Pisces right now. So it's really reinforcing the positives and the negatives. It went in there in 2012. It's going to be there to 2025, 26 kind of timeline. There's a whole generation of going through something where we're transforming our victimness. And that's why we have so much victimness in the media at the moment. I mean, even like media stars are taking on this persona of victimness because like that's how they sell. Yeah. And so there's so much in our consciousness of our victimness at the moment, and that we're really meant to transform that into something more purposeful about ourselves.
Do you think it's also because we're shifting from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, from this age of spirituality, of giving away the power to a god, to a church, to a religion, to like anything, like this
yeah,
of the power, and
well,
now,
even give power away to other people. Oh, you've upset me. Oh,
oh yeah,
you've offended me.
totally.
Like
Yeah,
we think that we're reinforcing that power that people can do that to us, right? And put us in a sad state. Even that isn't a worship to others, isn't it?
totally. Yes,
You don't have
absolutely.
to be to a god. Yeah.
And
It is very much to do with that, I think.
yeah,
I think in that. Hmm.
I think also this Neptune in Pisces helps like this whole, it's like the end of the victimhood stage of this Piscean age. I'm not saying that it's after that going into Aquarius, but it's like, it feels like, because the Piscean age was the age of that the person holding knowledge held the power. Now the Aquarian age is the person holding the wisdom, holding the actual experience that has the power. You can attain
Yes.
all wisdom or all knowledge, but not wisdom. So it's the age of wisdom, the Aquarian age. And like this whole generation being born in with Neptune and Pisces will be the last generation of this victimhood Piscean mentality, I think.
Yes, that's right. It'll be probably the final one, we hope. No? So that's great. The other planet is Jupiter, which is in Aries, which is pumping up our esteem and our identity and our purpose and our excitement, and our joy, which is all the things that Pisces lack. So we get the chance. The Jupiter is in Aries until May. So during these first 6 months, we really get the chance to go and do new things, to start new businesses, to try and start new adventures, to do things in a way we've never done before, to spark some creativity and newness, and to feel the excitement about that is all what Jupiter in Aries is about. And this week, Jupiter is trining with Mercury. And Mercury is our words and our thoughts. So really, we get the power this week to really speak the words, to speak the thoughts that are really going to help me grow, to create miracles, to create all those Jupiterian things, to be able to abracadabra my life, create something from words that I speak. Yes. So there's something here that, is really in this week that we can see where we're trapped. We can see where we don't feel fully empowered, but we also have the other energy of where I can really shift something in my consciousness to take back the power, to take back control and create the reality that I would like to see.
Yeah, the abracadabra. I love that.
It's so good, no?
Actually, it's my favorite Kabbalistic thing, the abracadabra.
Right.
I really love it. Like that, and it's very interesting. I studied a lot of the big spiritual teachers over the past 15 years. And in one way or another, they're basically explaining that your words lead to your realities, and that
is universal. No, I think through all the spiritualities, that one is
memo. Yes.
Yes. I mean, that one is, there's some things that are universally spiritual, no,
like,
across
okay,
all. That one we
create reality. Good, we got it.
Got it.
Interesting enough. In when I see, with my clients in trauma therapy, with people that I talk to, very often the self-talk and the negative talk is still super amplified. And I feel like abracadabra, like be very aware that what you say is true, and very important, your brain doesn't know neglections. If you say no, da 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 da, or not, or don't, da 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 da, whatever it is, your brain understands yes.
Yes, it doesn't recognize negative in the force. No,
it doesn't. So what it means is you need to be very conscious of how you talk to yourself.
You have to speak to what you want to see, which is not saying the negative of that. It's actually saying the actual thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
And this is,
which is very uncomfortable in in Europe, it's very uncomfortable, isn't it? It's like we just don't do that. Australia is certainly something we don't do.
Yeah.
America may be more possible. You can be speaking positively and high vibey and all of that. There's some cultures that it's more difficult, but you have to break that, right?
Yeah, it's also like where, it's also a cultural thing. Like, where were you used to look at during your school time? Like during school, what happened in Europe, and I don't know about the States, but here in Europe, talents are not the thing that you put a lot of energy in. You put the energy into the things you're not able to do, which is like very interesting to see, because what you actually should do is you should like really nourish your talents, right? This is what we should be doing everywhere on planet Earth. But the training of all of our brains in Europe is like, oh, I'm not good in math, I really should start to understand math. Or, oh, I'm not good in like doing languages. Oh, I really should learn another one. Like, no, please don't put so much effort and energy and life force into the things you're not naturally talented in. Get brilliant in things you already have a talent. I think this is like so much easier than to be like really great at something. And
it's very good.
It's also very close to your purpose most often.
Yeah, I think so. Very good. And just coming into a little bit more, probably a little bit away from what we're just talking about, but one of the things that's also happening in the chart this week is Juno in Aries. Juno is about how we show up as a partner, or the partner that we actually have. It's about the partner. And Juno is the partner to Jupiter in the mythology, right? So it's Jupiter is like the husband and wife couple, right? So Juno is representing the partner, or how I show up as the partner. And Juno at the moment is in Aries, which is me, sign of me, like I exist. So really there's a big process here of Juno going through Aries about who I am as the partner, or what kind of partner I really want. Yeah. And we're able to speak to that. over this time that Juno is in Aries. It's going past like planets like Jupiter, which is like magnifying it, and then Eris, which is drastically altering circumstances, and then it's going through past Atlantis, which is about bringing things back from the past and making them practical. So it's there's a lot of like interesting things that Juno is working with here about really how I'm reinventing myself as the partner or the spouse in a relationship. And we don't have to be in one, we can be, or it doesn't have to be, but we'll get a lot of realizations about ourselves over the next 3 or 4 weeks. Is why, Juno is in there for a while longer than that, but particularly past these planets, it's happening over January, February, and probably through March that we'll see, how we will transform. And one of the things I think is interesting is there's, this song by Miley Cyrus. It's become a really big pop moment, and it's gone #1 in 30 countries, and it's called Flowers. And it's about how she sends flowers to herself, and she writes her own name in the sand, and she holds her own hand, and how she's been, no one can love her better than she loves herself, right? And I think it's a song that it's become like a vogue. It's just like everybody knows that it's a pop moment, and I think it captures something that's happening really with this Juno at the moment. And a few times, this year I've mentioned that we're really healing in relationships after all of this kind of challenging moments that we've had in relationships over the past 2 or 3 years, with the highest divorce rates and separations and things like that. So there's a kind of new sign of new beginnings with relationships that is coming through. Finally, like Venus is finalizing in Pisces, which is Venus's relationships, and Pisces is taking us up into the higher aspect of love. It's taking us up into the higher dimension of love, that love of like a bigger feeling, the bigger me. So in this time, we're really feeling in relationships our who I'm supposed to be in a relationship, and how much do I love myself, and how much do I have compassion and kindness for myself. And so it's a very interesting moment for the relationship process.
Yeah. What's really interesting about the Miley Cyrus song, to come back to that one.
Did you see it?
Yes, I did. And did you know she wrote that song years ago, when Bruno Mars actually wrote the song When I Was Your Man in 2012.
Yes.
And
yes.
the
It's like an
lyrics
echo. It's like an echo, isn't it?
like
yes.
an echo. And it's so interesting. And she said, I couldn't release it. But 2012, what happened 2012? Astrologically, I think you just said
Neptune in Pisces,
yes,
where we lose ourselves, right? We lose ourselves very easily.
And now at almost the end of Neptune in Pisces, she's coming
She's
out.
come back, yes.
Oh yeah, wait a second. We could do that by ourselves.
Yes, and that is, I didn't know that. That is an interesting thing. That really just wraps up like everything we've talked about. That a transformation from victim to power,
self-empowerment.
To self-empowerment. Yeah.
Cyrus and Bruno Mars. There we go.
And who would know? Yeah, no, it's a moment. It's definitely, and I think that's why it's captured such this big phenomenon of interest, is because it's really shown this evolution of this Neptune and this relationship journey that we've all been on, and identity and who I am and all of that. I think it's really hit something on many levels for different people.
Yeah, I think liberation is a big topic at the moment. Like the liberation also of false gurus, liberation of people that that you give energy to without knowing it. Also, you also give energy to people when you like follow the drama. I'm talking about Kardashians, Kanye West, all of that. Like you send your energy, your chi, your life force to that when you follow things. So I feel it's a super exciting time to be alive and be on planet Earth, and to find your way through this spiritual to understand that abracadabra is actually really true, and you need to cadabra right in order to abracadabra.
Yes.
to otherwise you get the subconscious shit. So
Yes. It's a mess. That's very good.
Lovely. Thank you so much for your time and this amazing insights. I'm looking forward to next week when we do the podcast together in Napoli. Or
Yes,
we'll see.
we will see. We will see. But we will be together, that's for
Yes,
sure.
we will be. Okay. You guys, thank you so much for listening. If you have questions, DM us, send us comments. I found out the comment section how to maneuver that one. So don't be shy. And we love that you are with us and have a wonderful evening.
Ciao.
Okay, bye.
Bye.